All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are playing some more Stormworks Build and Rescue, providing some commentary. Sometimes I provide commentary, sometimes I don't. If I'm building and I have a lot of thinking to do, usually I'll just play music and not provide commentary or whatever if there's stuff going on around the house and stuff. So yeah, let's see. A lot has gone on in the last day. I've been pumping out the videos, so let's get into it. Um, all right, so I unlocked rail. Built a train. Okay, tested it. There's still a lot. There's still a lot of work to do. There's like still probably 3 or 4 hours left on the engine of the train, and then I load the uranium rail car. There's still probably 1 or 2 hours, maybe 3 hours left here, and then we have our truck. This just transports. All I'm gonna do with this is just transport ore from the boat to the train. So this is pretty much ready. I calibrated the clutch a little bit, so I'll have to calibrate the clutch on the bus now that I know what's going on. All right, and then the ship. We all know about the ship. There's probably 10 hours left of work to do on the ship, screens and other stuff before we're ready to test. Then I need to test to see if I can get to the Arctic with the train. That's going to be a few hours. We need to test the boat. That's going to be a few hours. So we're still probably 30 hours or so away from being able to actually do a complete test start to finish. You know, probably another 40 hours. A lot. There's a lot still, but you know, don't worry, we'll get there. Oh, I got rid of the bin. Okay. Right, so the idea is I'm just going to be picking up the bin off the truck. I'm going to be dropping it here. I'll be filling up the bin, and then I'll just be putting the bin back on the truck. I'm not going to carry a bin on the ship. Right, I built the crane. These controls are going to be transferred. I'm going to have a vehicle seat here, which I'll change the controls. And that. But yeah, in this video, we aren't going to be going over the boat. There's still a lot of work to be done. Yeah, I really underestimated the testing and the configuring and everything. That I really underestimated. I thought that by now I'd have the uranium, and then we still need to build a nuclear reactor and do all that testing, right? So I would have to say, all told, just uranium, there's probably 80 plus hours of testing, gathering, exploration, all that. It's a lot. All right. So let's get some commentary on the uranium rail car. So I'll spawn it in. All right. So I was trying to make the cranes. For some reason, they won't work. The crane will work on the boat, but the crane built the same way won't work on the truck, and it won't work on the rail car. Now I don't know why. I don't know why. So this is what I had to come up with, right? So this comes down. It's going to pick up the bins. Right? And essentially all we're going to do is from here, we'll put the bins on the ground, and then I'll back up to the bins with the truck, and I'll carry the truck bin over top of these bins, and then I'll unload it into these bins, and then I'll pick these bins back up and I'll put them on the train. That's how that's going to work. I think that's the easiest way. I thought about maybe taking these off, piggybacking them on the truck, piggybacking them on the boat, but that's just too much. It's too much. If something goes wrong with these hoppers, yeah, it's just too much hopping around. That's right. I made a little joke there. It's okay if you don't laugh. It's okay. It's okay if you don't laugh. Right. So, in completing this, all I want to do now is just kind of create a area. what do I need to do? I need to do a couple of things. I need to get the statistics from the bin to see how full they are. So what I did in the ship, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're like not out of the woods at all. Yeah. So let's just get started here. I know I sound tired, and I am. There's been a lot of thinking and a lot of building. Like I say, a lot. This is way more involved than I ever thought it would be. So it's just, yeah, it's a lot. All right, so we can do that. And then what we also need to do is we need to add some technology here to assist us in moving around the bins, some winches and that. So, all right, that'll work. I should probably, I wonder how high I want this thing to be. Let's see if we do that, and then maybe we take this one here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, perfect. We can do that. All right, and then I'll probably get, this was an this was an outside light button. On the last build, I have a fluid rail car that I've used. So what I do to make money is I go to Donk Island, and I'll just set the rail car up and I'll go to bed, basically. And I'll let the rail car fill up overnight while I'm sleeping. And then in the morning, because I mean the rail car holds 100,000 liters, right? It takes forever in a day to fill up. And then when it's full, what I'll do is I'll take it a little ways down the line and then I'll unload it. You know, no big deal. We'll be doing that next. Before I can even test any of this, I need to get the fuel. So at some point here, I'm going to stop uploading videos because all I will be doing is trading fuel. That's it. All I'll be doing is trading fuel for probably a day or so. Probably a day or so. We'll see. Maybe I'll tackle that Friday night or Saturday night or something. Oh, that's no good. I have to be right. I mean, this is blocky. There's not much of a design to it. I'm not really an engineer or anything per se. So it will all be reimagined in time. With the amount of hours that there is in this game, this will all be reimagined in time. So this is just a brake. What I'll do is I'll put the brake inside. All right. So we're at the helm. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. Maybe what I'll do is I should open that up. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get the stats exactly the same way I did from the boat. Actually, probably don't need this right now. So that means I'll need a cable anchor here, and then what I'll also have to do is change the speed. It was too slow. It's too slow going on. I guess that doesn't matter. I'll just have a button for that. That's fine. That's fine. And I don't know if I want to have a touch screen. Like, that's the other thing too, right? You'll see some of my builds are just full of buttons. I do that initially so I know what to do. And then when I add the touch screen in, it's easier for me to consolidate those buttons into the touch screen later on. I can just do, like, I can eliminate, one at a time. That's why I say when you think, oh man, he's saying there's 3 or 4 more hours. What could that entail? That's what it is. Adding the monitors, adding the touch screens, coding. Okay, so right here, I want to have a monitor. Right, so what we learned when we were working on the ship was that in order to get the statistics from these bins remotely, we need to send a composite into the winch. We can't do it with a video because we need to merge that video into there. Into there, that's right, into there. Yeah, into there. Let's get another cable anchor here. Okay, and then we'll draw a logic node between there and there. Right, then we need buttons. So this would be winch out, and then we have winch in. Winch in. All right. I'll have to add solar panels to this just so we can get, this will all run off the train. Oh, and then I'll need a button for the monitor as well. All right. Got my coffee here so I can stay awake. Okay, so now we need, that's good. Let's save this. I need to go to the boat and I need to copy a microcontroller that's on the boat that I didn't save. So there's a little bit of back and forth here, a little bit of back and forth. Yeah, right. Going back to the uranium, I honestly didn't think it was going to be this involved. My biggest pet peeve is you can't store the ore. You can store the ingots, but you can't store the ore. So you have to go through this huge process of extracting and transporting and converting. I made a rant about it on for the developers, and I said, at least give us one area on the map where we can store the ore. We can stockpile it without having to, And that's because the system is prone to error. We all know that. It's prone to error. And because the system is prone to error, I wanted to have like a backup, right? A backup. So where is the microcontroller? There it is. This guy here. He's got all our code in it. Right? If you watch the video of the ship where we just need to copy that. And then we can exit this. Thankfully, it stays copied on the clipboard, so we can go from one workbench to the other, and it'll still be in there. Just bunny hopping. It seems to be faster than running. All right. Load this one here. And then we'll go to the selection grid. Where do I want this thing? Well, let's put it on top here. All right, so we'll paste that. Then we got to merge that. Okay, and then we also need my engine stats, microcontroller. Where do we want to put that on these bins? It's not going to be in the way. It's going to have to go here. Oh, may as well paint it this color. It doesn't have to be this big. All we need is one. So we go into the microcontroller, we go to our logic. We can get rid of the RPS, and we'll change this output to composite, and that's it. And then we can go to properties, and we can make it like that, just like that. And then we'll go into the node. We'll delete the Lua script because we don't need that, and we just do composite out. That's it. And then we can update that. And then what we need to do is, oh no, I messed up. I went too far. It actually needs to do that, and then we need whoops. No. Number. All right, and this can be just A and B. For bin A and bin B. And then, okay, then we can update that. Oh, and then I need to make sure one more thing. I'm rushing here. So we got B and A and B. All right. That will do it. This can be one bin. This can be the other bin. And then we'll go to our composite, and our composite will go to here. And then we'll take our composite to receive from the connected anchor. And this can go into A. And then we'll go to our video, and this will go to here. Now we need to edit this. Oh, you know what? I did do that correctly the first time. I don't need both of those. Are they? Oh, I do need both of them because they're separate. That is an issue. These are two separate bins. Now that complicates things just a little bit. For some reason, I thought they were connected, but they are not. So that bin, oh no, you know what? I shouldn't get rid of that. That bin doesn't matter. Only that bin matters. I guess that's all right. Yeah, that makes more sense because then that way in the truck will have two bins. I can that bin and that bin. So I mean, we're limited in capacity, but it'll make sense. It makes sense because the ship loads into one single bin and then up and up. Okay, that'll work. This will work out really well. Okay, that's right. So we need to edit this as I did, and we need to delete one of these nodes. We'll get rid of B, put this here, and we can change the width of it down to there. Okay, perfect. 2 tiles. Yeah, that makes more sense. Now, I guess I'm not too sure what to do with the backside of it. I don't know. I have no idea. Could just be like I don't know. There. Cool. Now is that the funnel? That's the funnel there. Now I want to leave that there just in case, because when we get to the Arctic, we'll have to lift this up and out, and it's going to, hopefully it will go on top of the truck. I think we have the height there. That's the other thing that I need to test is it high enough to fit on top of the truck? Which we could always test that. All right, so we have our composite. It's bugging me because it's saying, hey, you know what? I don't have any logic, or not logic. I need controls. So winch out is down. All right, and winch in is up. Right, so we could get this, we could connect it to the anchor and we could do some fancy stuff with it. You know, we can interact with the bin a little bit, but I don't think we need to go that far right now. So we have that, we have that. Okay, we have our composite. We have our video. So let's save it, spawn it, and test it. And then what I'll do is I can push it out. We'll just close that in case a wave comes in. Yeah, you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's outputting all 4. We don't want it to do that. We just want it to output 2 nodes. Where are we here? This logic. So we can get rid of D and we can get rid of C. We just need A and B. All right, let's update that. And then I want to look at the monitor just to see if the monitor is big enough. Like I say, it's 64 pixels long. Oh yeah, it should be big enough. Cool. That's all you need. I just need the ropes just so that way I can get the statistics here. That's it. So when we bring down the main arm. Oh, I see an issue there. I see an issue. All right, let's see. I have to leave it open down below. I'll explain why. The rail car is 11 blocks wide. You see here they have these bollards. I guess it'll fit over the bollards. My concern was I wouldn't be wide enough for the bollards, but that'll work. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so let's just do that then. Let's just fill in the backside just so it's complete. Good. I thought that I was going to be messed up by the bollards. Cool. But I'm not. Do something like that. We'll paint this. We'll pick a color scheme later on and we'll paint it. We can even go one higher. Just I like to have lots of meat, I guess, because sometimes the bins will clip. They might clip through and they just do all kinds of weird. That's why we need to test the setup to see if it'll even make it to the Arctic, if the bins are going to explode. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of touchy things that could still happen. Going to the Arctic, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. It's just going to be slow. Oops. Yeah, cool. So this will come down just like that. I say, not totally convinced. Not totally convinced here. I think now that I can lift these up, I think what we should do is what I did on the back side there to the front. All right. yeah, this isn't going to be a long video. I just kind of wanted to provide a little bit of commentary to give you some insight into what I have been doing, my thought process in all of this. My thought process in all of this. Yeah, that's all. Kind of provide a little bit of an update. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what you're watching without any commentary. I'm sorry that there isn't enough commentary. Okay, so that'll work there. That'll work there. And we'll just put this here. And I guess so it doesn't fill up with water when a tsunami comes by, we can just do that. Maybe I'll have maybe that can be like a battery bin or something like that. It will save that. Okay, and then actually what I want to do is the same on this side. I want it to be nice and tall. Let's cut this down by one. All right, let's test that out. Save that. That way the bins aren't rocking around. They're kind of they're secure. Oh, really? Did they kick out? Oh, they did kick out. It's these cables. All right, so let's fix that then. Let's fix that. What else could I do here? What else could I do? Whoops. Instead of having the winches way up here, let's have the winches here. Now, is that going to interfere? All right. Well, I could. The other thing I could do is, yeah, that's the other thing I could do too. Actually, is when this spawns in, I can have the winch out toggle button on, and then that way when it spawns in, the cable extends. I just more or less want these bins to sit where they are. Let's see. Oh yeah, perfect. That's perfect. Okay, perfect. And then, all right, let's do that. Composite. Let's reconnect the composite here. Reconnect the composite to receive from the connected anchor. A and B. All right, and then this goes into here. And then we'll grab our selection grid, wherever it is. Come down here, clear content, copy, paste, merge. Go back into here. Right, send to the connected anchor. Okay, perfect. And then we need to send this data to there, that data to there. Okay, now just to make sure it's working, what we'll do is we'll set the coal level on one of them to maximum, and it should give us a number. If it gives us a number, then it works. Perfect, but they're all 99. So why is that? right. Well, I will have to update that on the ship. Well, that's fresh in my mind. Actually, I should do that right now. I forgot to change those numbers. Channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's update that. Let's test it, and then I'll have to run to the ship. Oh, I didn't save it. That's right. I'll have to run to the ship and update that. Yes, perfect. While it's fresh in my mind, I like to, if I catch something, because I know there's so much to this game. It's so involved. It's so easy to forget. And then I'll be testing it, and then I'll be like, oh man, I forgot to change one number. You know what I mean? Just for us to get from here to the uranium, to where the uranium is about a 45-minute journey. And then unloading the sub, going down to the uranium, that takes about 15, 20 minutes. Like the whole trip, the whole round trip is going to be like 3 or 4 hours. Sailing, getting the uranium, coming back, getting the uranium for the ship. It's a lot. So, yeah, sometimes when I get into these builds, that's why it can take a long time to try and refine. All right, let's update that. All right, let's save the ship. Perfect. All right, let's exit here. Okay, now we got to go all the way back to the rail container. So I was going to say, with the truck, so what I noticed is that with the vehicles, you notice that with the bus, every time I press the start, it shoots off, and then the engine will stop, and that's because I have full clutch pressure. This truck here, I have the clutch pressure set to 50, so half. That allows me to slow down and stop without stalling the engine. So I'm going to have to recalibrate the bus. I'll do that later, probably not probably later on tonight or something like that. Yeah, I just wanted to just provide that just kind of as a tip there. When you're working with your vehicles, also you can idle the vehicles, have your throttle set to 1, and then I'm noticing that maximum throttle is about 3 with the medium engine for the vehicles. So if you build a tank or something like that, you don't want your throttle to go beyond that. Otherwise, the engine will continue to accelerate and accelerate and accelerate. I'm assuming anyways. I haven't built a tank yet, so I haven't had a chance to test it out. But with the trucks, that's what I noticed. The immediate changes is I had to calibrate lower. Before this truck, I could go to 45 on the throttle, and now I'm at 35 on the throttle. And then a lower clutch speed as well. Well, I'll be going, maybe I'll go over that when I fix the bus. Okay, so we're here. This will have to come out a bit further. Here, let's see. I've got 2 of these bins on here. Let's just push this rail car out of the container. Yeah, I have to see if I have the fuel to get to the Arctic, or if I have to carry one of my fuel cards with me to refuel the train, maybe halfway through or something. It's a long trek to the Arctic by train. Like some things in this game are I really enjoy, and some things in the game is just like, why, But it is what it is. We could make it in the ship, or we could make it in the train. So the ship would be like 4 hours. I am going to try, though. I am going to try eventually to do it in the ship. All right, so we'll come down here. Okay, we can pick these up. Hopefully there's enough cable. Yeah, see, that's it. That's as far as I need to go. Cool. Right, so now, as you can see, I've added that weight. All right, it'll work. Well, I need to balance. I need to balance the bins again. Probably have a little bit more weight on the backside. So let's see. These hoppers are 500, and these individual weights are 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 80. That's 160. 80. 160. What is that? 320. And then another 80 is 400. 480. And that'll bring us to 500. 520. So what is that? 1, 2, 3. Is that what I did? I want them to be slightly pivoting backwards, because there's this lip here. This lip here. All right, just some fancy spawn that. Yeah, there's that bit of a lip there. So as you saw, if they're not balanced correctly, I have to extend the loaders, and I don't really want it to be, I don't want it to get too wide. Right, you see the bollard there? So we're like within a block of the bollard. So we don't want to go too much wider than that. I think we have one more, we can go one more block. Trains are a bit different. What I say is that I calibrated the engine, but there was no weight on it. I wasn't pulling any rail cars. Once you pull the rail cars, you need more. You'll have to set the throttle higher so that we have more energy to pull the cars. All part of the testing. All right. So then that can go up. There, we'll. Yes, there. So see the weight? We're kind of weighted. Perfect. Yeah, that'll do just perfect. No, see, it's getting caught. It's getting caught there. Oh, maybe not. It's too wide now. It's too wide. I forgot. Oh boy, now one more time. All right, how long have I spent here? I spent 2 hour and a half making the engine, and already an hour on this. Probably 2 hours. Was that 3? Yeah. So I mean, to make a train, right? 3-4 hours. Plus, we would need the fuel car. That's about an hour and a half build right there. So yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. I know I was complaining there at the end of the month, and I was complaining because you put in all this time to do these builds, and they were still doing major changes to the game. So it's partly my fault. They probably shouldn't have been doing what I was doing because they were making those major changes. And they should have put out a disclaimer about the major changes that they were doing. But anyways, it doesn't matter. What's done is done. So now these will come down. Yeah, perfect. Right? If I need to pull the bins back, I can always use the winches. Perfect. Now let's see if they'll... One. Might have to get rid of that additional block on the inside there, which is no big deal. Right, so this is what we'll do. So we unload these. I'll probably speed them up a little bit. Right, we'll unload these. And they just sit there doing whatever they do. Yeah, I'll have to get rid of that one block on the bottom. That's okay. And then the truck will come by, and then we'll have to lift the bin off the truck over top of these bins, right? But I can always disconnect. I can always do that and get this out of the way if I need to, right? If I need a little more clearance, and then I'll have to, you know. But I might. All right, let's see. Let's see if a random wave is going to come in and wipe me out while I'm doing this. Let's see. I'll spawn the truck. Oh, and I will say about the reversing. Okay, there is a button here, which glows. I watched the video and I just realized that I didn't. I overlooked that it was in reverse. Right, so I have this gear button. That's the clutch. So what I do is I put it into idle and start it. Right, the idle setting is set to... Oh no, what's going on? System's on. Yeah. Maybe this has to turn on. All right, so you got to put it in gear first. Then you can idle down. Idle just lets low throttle, right? So then it's in high gear. Okay. So as I was saying with the clutch just allows us to, it allows me to slow down with the brakes without stalling the engine, which is what I'll need to do with the bus. Cool, so I can come along here. I can come along here like that, right? And then I can put it in reverse. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. Maybe not quite. Put the parking brake on, put it into idle. Oh. Oh, man, really? All right, we'll have to figure out what I did. There we go. Put the park brake on. All right, we're idling now. I just did too many things at once, and I've just kind of forgotten how I set it all up. So then we can go, feet up is actually down. Oh, they don't reach that far. Oh, man. Yeah, so there's a little bit more calibrating to do here. But essentially, if I can get this to tip now, or slide, even if it just slides back a little bit, it'll empty right into the bin, and they'll have one hopper, then the other hopper, right? That's pretty much how that's going to work. Cool. I really like that. Right? And then this bin can get loaded and unloaded from the ship. And that'll be, this will stay with the truck. These will stay with the train. And then when we're in the Arctic, it'll be the same thing. I can bring these bins out and I can just park underneath them and I can just unload them. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, yeah, so that's going to do it for this video here. I have a few things I need to take care of, and then maybe later on I'll upload some more videos. Yeah. Here, I need to get rid of this before I forget, and get rid of that before I forget. So let's save that. There's a little bit more to do, a little bit of screens to do, lighting. There's lights to put on this so we can use it at night and stuff. All the usual mumbo jumbo. Yeah, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Getting lots of subscribers, so that hopefully that means that you guys are enjoying the content. Like I say, I'm gonna try to not be as unreasonable as I was at the beginning of the month. Most of the major changes with the game are done, and now it's just minor tweaks. Like I say, I'm able to run missions again. That makes me happy, so I can continue to progress in the game, right? And we were at the point there where we were pretty much at a standstill. We couldn't run missions or anything just because of the changes and the adverse effects that they were having, but they seem to be all worked out. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for liking. And be sure to leave comments. I'll get to them when I can and answer them promptly. Have yourselves a wonderful day.